Babe, wake up.
What? Huh? Oh, my lips are so dry.
Ew.
What time is it?
Mac Lexa, what time is it?
It is Cinco de Mayo, 2019.
We haven't recorded in 20 years.
We gotta get to the podcast.
Dun, 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 dun.
Boom, 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 boom.
Use bombs wisely.
Oh, we can't do that. It's
Oh,
copyrighted.
take that back.
Hey, welcome back to Anyway It's Haunted.
Welcome to the podcast, guys.
Hi.
Hey, welcome back to So Anyway It's Haunted.
Yeah.
My name is Ashley, and joining me are my husband, Christopher,
Yeah, hi.
and our roommate and best friend and best man, and he's like a brother to me, Monster Mac.
M to the A to the C, that's me.
No, I take it all back. Never mind.
Is this
He's
the
none
90s?
of those things to me. I don't know this man.
Is this Theodore Rex starring, what's her? Who is that?
Whoopi Goldberg.
Whoopi Goldberg, that's right.
Aren't you talking about We're All Here?
We're all here.
Yeah,
We're all back.
Remember that classic movie? Don Bluth in. We're all here.
What is it?
That Donald Floof movie, We're All Back.
Shut up. I don't even know what it is. Hi, this was a podcast. This was a paranormal podcast. Who knows what it is?
Yeah, it's
No.
kind of a mixed bag now.
see
We're
what
talking
happens
about
today.
animation history.
No, don't leave. We're not talking about that. We're talking
If
about
this
dead
episode
people.
doesn't close cold with "We're all back,"
Okay, so yeah. Hi, welcome to So Anyway It's Haunted. Like I said, I'm Ashley. That's Chris, and that's Mac.
Yeah.
And this is your friendly neighborhood paranormal podcast where we talk about haunted places and things and folklore and urban legend and
Just spooky stuff in general.
spooky stuff in general. And I will read. I have in the past, and I will continue to do so in the future. Your listener stories that are paranormal or creepy or whatever.
Sounds great.
That's why we're here.
Yeah.
Just at the top, like we had in the open just now, I want you to know that we have been asleep for 20 solid years.
Yeah.
And then we just woke up and realized that we haven't recorded. So we immediately got out the mics.
Yeah.
Christopher set it all up because he's amazing.
Well, not immediately. I first ran to the store because now it's legal for me to buy alcohol, and I just boozed up. So,
Wait.
yeah, now we're back. We're recording.
Are you saying that 20 years ago you were literally 7 years
20
old?
years ago,
8 years
I
old.
was literally 20 years old, right before my birthday, and then I went into cryosleep for 20 years.
Man, it has been so painful to age 20 years in 5 minutes.
Yeah. Actually, I felt great.
thankfully I don't age, so
I
That's
have
true.
hair everywhere now.
The only thing that ages about him is his hair.
yeah.
True.
I literally wear it like a toga now. Who needs
Look.
clothes?
Look, all right, look. We haven't recorded in a while. We want to thank you guys for seriously continuing to download our podcast and subscribe to it. We basically, nothing really has changed, really just in the last couple of days. Yeah, dude, we have like new listeners from literally all over the world,
Somehow.
which is insane.
Yeah.
Like literally like multiple countries.
Unless Podbean is lying to us.
No, dude, like, man, it's wild. Shout out, by the way, to everyone in Canada, because that is our
Oh, yeah.
Like major listener base.
second most, second major country.
It's a big country.
We
So,
love you guys so
I think the
much.
third one is Ireland. Or maybe it's just Japan. I don't know. But, yeah, shout out to every international listener, every every non-national listener.
Yeah, if you're in
Very American
Japan
listener.
listening to this in hopes of learning English practically, I'm very sorry.
Yeah, very sorry.
This
Go to
is not a good way to do
Duolingo.
that.
Go to Duolingo. Submit to it.
Yeah.
It will be your ultimate master.
Duo the owl is
Duo.
a harsh mistress and will run you to the ground.
He rules us all. Yeah, man. I don't know. We had, I don't know. We took a couple weeks off, and then we were like, cool, let's record. And then Mac got some pretty bad news. And then we were like, wow, that sucks, but we'll record next week. And then I got very sick. But I'm feeling mostly better. Not all the way better, as you could tell. But anyway, we're back, dudes, and we're ready to talk about spooky stuff. And we have a new Instagram. We'll talk about that next episode. And we're gonna have a new Facebook group coming up as well.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
It's going to be an even better Instagram.
Yeah.
Because we're going to post haunted videos.
Yeah.
You're going to
Sure.
watch them and then get haunted.
And
Oh, no.
exclusive behind-the-scenes looks.
We're actually commissioning actual witches to make haunted, cursed videos to watch.
Newport witches,
Yeah.
which are really just crackheads.
No.
It's just homeless people in the Newport.
Anyway, so
What would you do, real quick, if after a week of not doing it, you get that email from Duolingo and it's like, it appears this isn't working. And then you log into Duolingo, you're like, fine, I'll give it a go. The owl is not there anymore. And every time you complete a lesson, it doesn't give you points. And you're like, huh. But like, oh my gosh.
I just thought you were going to say the owl just like gives up on you and doesn't let you log in ever. And just totally shuts you down.
This was free. You know that, right? Somehow the owl being more disappointed in you than hunting you down is somehow slightly funnier.
one day I hope to be sponsored by Duolingo.
Oh, that'd be, yeah.
We'll take your money.
They
How?
don't make
Why?
money.
You can buy crystals or something like that, right?
Lingots?
Yeah,
What?
you can do
Lingots.
that. I don't know why you would.
To buy new
It's so
costumes,
stupid.
right?
It's so stupid.
I think you can refill hearts, and then you can also buy clothes for the owl.
You can also waste 10 of them to get one day off when you could just, do 2 lessons and be done for the day.
Wow.
I'll
Oh,
never
you only
understand
have
that.
2 lessons?
If you have to log in to use the streak freeze,
Wow.
why not just do the lesson?
Oh my goodness.
And by the way, I do insane. I have 5 lessons a day.
Tell
But
me a sentence in,
I
in
refuse.
Japanese.
No, I refuse to go past the hiragana because I'm still learning it. Now, if you held up a hiragana that looks like, then I would say, yeah, that's foo.
Oh.
I don't even know what that is.
I squinched up my face and puckered my lips because that's what it looks like. It looks like a little man going,
Just like that. Like,
Just
it's
a
like the second time you got it.
you miss me yet, Japan?
We're doing great.
Keep him.
Look, man. So we all saw Us, and we all loved it, and we thought it was the scariest movie we've ever
Well,
seen.
Remember that movie?
2
And
of us
listeners?
loved it.
Remember that? Wow, that's rude. We're not going to talk about Avengers. It's too early.
You know what's a scary movie? Avengers.
Well, that's like the most recent movie we've seen. That's like the Buzz movie.
No,
right?
it's Us is perfectly fine. Let's talk about it.
Oh my lord. Mac and Allie didn't think Us was scary, and
One,
they
I didn't think
made
it was scary,
sense.
and 2, it's not that it didn't make sense. It's that I don't know.
I feel like some parts didn't really make sense.
It had
me.
the Jordan Peele charm, but the thing is, I don't want his legacy to turn into, oh, it's a Jordan Peele movie. Now I have to go see it.
Yeah.
Because, that's kind of what it felt like. I was like, oh, high expectations. I loved Get Out. And I went to see it, and, the message was there. Sure, I get it. But, I don't know.
I will say you don't see enough bad horror movies to make a judgment like that. Because if you go see something like The Prodigy,
Oh my lord, Christopher!
or
we've seen
maybe The Boy,
Literally,
The Boy has
dude,
good
The
moments,
Boy.
but it's
The Boy.
it's a bad movie.
Did you
I
watch
think.
that movie?
No.
We got to watch that movie
You will see that
together.
Us is leagues better than like a bad
And it
horror
is.
movie.
It is.
Truly,
I'm just saying,
truly.
like, we are coming upon, like, a new golden age for horror movies with, like, all the ones being put up by A21. And, I mean, let me think. Well, some of the reboots. I'm actually I'm excited for Child's Play because it looks like, since they're, like, completely reimagining it to be, like, in the technological age, and, I have this thing that can connect to all my apps in the house, which, wouldn't apply. Like, if we bought a Chucky doll, he's screwed. There's nothing here. He can turn the TV on and scare us with that, but...
I mean, we have knives.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, the whole point is, like,
The
in the movie...
technological thing.
Yeah, the whole thing in the movie is, like...
He hacks the Alexa.
Somebody turn... Yeah, it's literally like he's the Google Home.
Oh.
And it's like, oh, man, that's super
I've only seen one
scary.
trailer for it.
You only get to hear Mark Hamill for, like, 1 second at the end of it.
Is he playing Chucky?
He's Chucky.
What? Okay.
Yeah,
I might
it's
actually
really
see it.
good. So, but anyways, we were talking about Us. It's not that it's bad. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm saying that it didn't exceed my expectations as Jordan Peele typically does. It felt like, and I think I think he actually said this when we walked out, was that it felt like a really long Twilight Zone episode.
I said
That's
that.
the kind of
Yeah.
twist. That's the
Yeah.
kind of twist it was. I was like,
But that's good. I like Twilight Zone.
Yeah, same.
I mean, it's only his second movie, also.
Also, it's just like the story itself. You have to suspend your disbelief in order to believe it, which kind of like softens out the harsh corners that people might think are plot holes.
Yeah.
so are we gonna like talk about it? Should we put in like a spoiler warning right quick?
We'll talk. Look, if you want to hear us talk about Us, then
Then hit us
call
up on the
in-
new Instagram.
call
to our
in
house.
and call in and let us know. No, I'm just kidding.
Wow. That'd be a bad idea.
No, no.
No.
Not you, duo.
How?
If you want to hear us talk about Us, let us
your
know.
lessons.
But we really got to do one whole episode that's just about scary movies that we've seen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One full episode. That would be awesome.
And we have to do it when Izzy's in town because he loves talking about movies.
You can't
Yeah,
do you
it's
can't
true.
do movie commentary with that, Izzy. It's
That's
just
true.
We'll have him call in.
you know, the Christmas lights are really cool year round.
I don't know what's
until
happening.
they start flickering.
Oh, yeah.
Then they're not cool anymore.
We noticed that our house loses power really easily. Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes.
Is-
Like,
we
sometimes it's just like a kind of strong wind outside, and then our power goes out for like 5 hours.
Yeah.
But like,
Not like 5 hours. Not 5 hours.
it was like out from like most of the day that one day. Remember?
True.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Look. Anything else new? We saw Us.
yeah.
We saw Avengers. It's not scary.
Oh yeah. Depends
We
on what
haven't
you're
really
looking
watched
for.
any other scary movies lately.
I don't know. I mean, we watched Spy Kids, but that's kind of scary in a different way. Those
Sad.
thumbs.
Sad. Floop is a madman. Help us. Save him.
Would you smooch a thumb person?
There's no lips. There's no butt either. Wait, no, they do have a butt. They have, they have butts, that's right.
They have a butt.
Okay, look.
You threw him off on this tangent.
No, I didn't. Is there anything else we need to catch up on before we start? I don't think there is. I think we should just jump right into
Yeah,
it.
I don't
let's
think
just-
so. We haven't had any spooky happenings in our house.
No, surprisingly
Because
not.
our house isn't haunted. The house is
It's
not
the moment
haunted.
you say.
Yeah, it only gets haunted when we record.
Yeah, what happens? What happens
you
at
know
the
what's
beginning of
happening?
Paranormal Activity? They're like,
know-
"This isn't a haunted house."
We've lived here for like half a year. It's not haunted. Also, creepy things happen when we record because we're all sitting here with headphones on, which first of all makes you more alert in the first place. And second of all, we're talking about creepy things. So we're like, oh, what is that noise? When really it's just like Chup Chup's falling behind the record player.
Oh my gosh!
That was amazing.
Ah, hilarious.
Yeah.
Anyway, I love you. Okay, let's go.
All right.
What you got for me?
So segment 1. I'm going to talk about today the old
Sorry, that was a weird sentence. Segment 1. I'm going to talk about
segment
today.
1. Begin.
Are
Today,
you like a voiceover for like
Yeah.
a school history book? Segment 1. American history.
I want to apologize also. I was diagnosed with an acute upper respiratory infection literally a week ago. And so I'm still coughing, so sorry if I cough, dude.
So today, I'm going to talk about the old Portland Underground, also known as the Portland-Shanghai Tunnels. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
This is one entrance to the Shanghai Tunnels.
Oh, creepy.
So, I got my info from ghost.hauntedhouses.com, the otbbrewing.com, and mcmenamins.com. Also, Wikipedia, of course.
Nice.
So, starting from the beginning. The very beginning.
I don't like that.
No.
Before American pioneers began arriving in the 1800s, the thing timed out.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so before American pioneers began arriving in the 1800s, the land was inhabited for many centuries by two bands of indigenous Chinook people, the Multnomah and the Clackamas. And this is just like general, like, I guess, upper Washington history. The Chinook people occupying the land were first documented in 1805 by Meriwether Lewis and William Clark. Before its European settlement, the Portland Basin of the lower Columbia River and Willamette River valleys had been one of the most densely populated regions on the Pacific coast. Large amounts of European settlers began settling in the Willamette Valley in large part via the Oregon Trail.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah.
I've walked the Oregon Trail before.
I've played the Oregon Trail.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Never make it.
Oh.
Not once.
I was about to ask you.
Married to the game.
Oh, well. Okay. In the early 1840s, a new settlement emerged 10 miles from the mouth of the Willamette River, roughly halfway between Oregon City and Fort Vancouver. This community was initially referred to as Stumptown.
Stumptown. Like the coffee.
Yeah. I didn't know that's where that originated from. Or the clearing, because many of the trees cut down allowed for its growth. In 1845, the 640-acre site known as the Clearing was jointly owned by Asa Lovejoy of Boston and Francis W. Pettygrove of Portland, Maine. Both Pettygrove and Lovejoy wished to rename the clearing after their respective hometowns, Lovejoy's being Boston and Pettygrove's Portland. This controversy was settled with a coin toss that Pettygrove won in a series of 2 out of 3 tosses.
Interesting.
So it was a coin toss that gave Portland its name.
That's insane, dude.
So instead of having 2 Portlands, we could have had 2 Bostons.
Yeah.
Weird.
Wait, we don't have 2 Portlands, do we?
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, we'll probably do, yeah. I don't know.
Is Portland, Maine Portland, Maine?
Yeah, that's where this other person was from. Francis W. Pettygrove of Portland, Maine.
And then Portland, Washington.
Portland, Oregon.
Portland, Oregon.
Did I say Oregon? I mean, did I say Washington? Oops. I don't know, but I'm thinking of Seattle. Go ahead.
This controversy was settled with the coin toss. The coin used for this decision, now known as the Portland penny, is on display in the headquarters of the Oregon Historical Society. At the time of its incorporation, on February 8th, 1851, Portland had over 800 inhabitants, a steam sawmill, a log cabin hotel, its own Chinatown and Japantown.
Oh my gosh.
And a newspaper, the Weekly Oregonian.
Oh, Oregonian.
Yeah.
Oregonian.
Or Oregonian, like oregano.
No, I got it.
Okay. Portland's access to the Pacific Ocean via the Willamette and Columbia rivers, as well as its easy access to the agricultural Tualatin Valley via the Great Plank Road, provided the pioneer city with an advantage over other nearby ports. So it grew very quickly. Portland developed a reputation early in its history as a hard-edged and gritty port town. It was not a safe place to be. It was one of the most dangerous places. Some historians have described the city's early establishment as being a scion of New England, an ends of the earth home, and this is a quote, an ends of the earth home for the exiled spawn of the Eastern established elite.
Wow.
In 1889, the Oregonian called Portland the most filthy city in the northern states.
Holy crap, they
Jeez
really turned it
Louise.
around, though.
Yeah.
Wow.
Due to the unsanitary sewers and gutters, and at the turn of the 20th century, it was considered one of the most dangerous port cities in the world.
Wow.
Not just
world,
not just
dude.
America, in the world.
That's insane.
The city housed a large number of saloons, bordellos, gambling dens, and boarding houses, which were populated with miners after the Great California Gold Rush, as well as the multitude of sailors passing through the port. The Old Portland Underground is a group of underground tunnels networked underneath what was then Portland's own Chinatown. A lot of what these tunnels are known for are shrouded in possible myth and urban legend.
Oh.
So there's a lot of like, this probably didn't happen, but we're not here to talk about like what actually did happen. We're talking about like the creepy myths.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's see. They were originally built to move goods from the ships docked on the Williamette to the basement storage areas of the businesses. This would allow businesses to avoid streetcar and train traffic on the streets when delivering their goods. So that is the official reason why these tunnels exist.
Right.
However, we're here to wildly speculate. So,
Wait, did you write that down?
Yes.
Oh, I like that. Yes.
As the name suggests, many claim that these tunnels were used for nefarious networks.
Couldn't they have been both?
Probably.
So.
I don't know.
There you go. I answered it.
Mystery
There's
solved.
no more
Wow.
mystery. There's like, come on, you
okay.
guys. Just think. Just think.
So they were supposedly used for ship captains to Shanghai unsuspected drunk sailors and sell them into slavery aboard ships.
Did they talk about this? Did the Ghoul Boys talk about this?
They might have. I don't know.
Ghoul
I don't.
Boys?
I don't think I've ever seen.
Because I remember, Shanghaiing someone.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Did
an episode
Karen
of SpongeBob.
say that?
It was. It was.
Was it My Favorite
I
Murder?
think an episode of SpongeBob. It was also on an episode of Bob's Burgers.
What?
And they get shanghaied by that crazy ship captain with.
Oh yeah. No, but I feel like I've heard. Maybe it was the Ghoul Boys. Maybe it was Karen. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I just
maybe.
realized I knew what this was. And I'm like, oh crap, that's what it is. Okay.
They might have talked about it on Unsolved. I don't know. So yeah, captains hired crimps, which were vicious thugs that were trained to spot men who were new to town. They were then tasked with gaining their trust, buy them a drugged drink, and then with the help of bar staff, they would drag and drop the unfortunate men down the tunnels via a trapdoor that opened by a push of a button.
Oh, I know what it is.
Yeah.
It was and that's why we drink.
Oh yeah.
Because Em was talking about, like, never mind. I don't want to ruin the thing, but I remember them saying like, oh, and you hear people like doing this in the
Oh, yeah,
tunnels
she did
now
talk
because
about
it's
that,
on
yeah.
it. They
Yeah, it was also an episode of Ghost Adventures, which a lot of
Ghost
the stuff,
harassers.
a lot of the stuff I was looking up, like I was trying to look up ghost like images, or like orb images to see like if I
Yeah.
could show you guys, and a lot of them were like a lot of pictures of Ghost Adventures.
Zach Bagel Bites.
Yeah. Along with this, there are legends of underground gambling dens, opium dens,
Nice.
and brothels hooking
Okay.
up with historic businesses such as the White Eagle Saloon and the Merchant Hotel.
The Merchant Hotel.
Although you're able to take guided tours of the Shanghai tunnels, a lot of the passages have either collapsed or are inaccessible.
That's a myth. Let's go.
But you can take tours of them. And
I'm not gonna die in a tunnel under Portland. That's not where I'm gonna die. So sorry.
Okay. I believe you.
It's just like it's not gonna be like the movie As Above, So Below.
Oh, yeah.
Where they go and they're like, but I know the secret tunnel where you get the really good footage.
Yeah.
And then you die there.
Stupid.
I'm not
Those
gonna do
juicy
that.
skeletons.
I'm not gonna do it.
Okay.
Yeah. Or like the
I'm just
Descent.
gonna say, any
The
movie,
juicy skeletons.
any
yeah.
movie where it's like, ooh, we're gonna check out this forest, we're gonna check out this cave, we're gonna check out this secret tunnel, and it instantly puts them in like purgatory, and there's no escape for no matter, like, those are the worst movies.
Yeah.
I absolutely.
Are you talking
it's
about
like,
the what was the one where they get lost in an asylum? And
Holy
the asylum,
crap, Christopher.
we watched 3 of those movies.
Paranormal Happening?
Paranormal Occurrences.
Are you kidding me?
It wasn't Paranormal Activity.
It was
like,
a ripoff.
It was a synonym of Activity.
Yeah.
But it was an asylum, and then the second one. So the first one happened, right? It was a group of paranormal investigators that went, and then they all died or whatever. And then it's lore that the main guy, the main host guy, still roams those halls. And so the second movie, literally the second movie is a group of teenagers that are that saw the original movie and were like, we gotta see if this is real. Except they literally say the movie. They're like, we have the DVD, blah, blah, blah. Like, yeah.
I feel like to their credit, that's pretty like
meta
novel, I think. But like the second Blair Witch, well, I guess the third Blair Witch movie stole that.
Yeah, they say
concept.
Blair Witch. Yeah, just Blair Witch.
Yeah.
Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking. Yeah.
So I mean, it was a bad movie, but like.
Yeah. Also, the idea when they get to the woods, and the camera people are like, "All right, kids, like, where do we go?" And they're like, "Oh, we don't know. We just wanted to be on this. We don't really know where to go." And they were already lost. Guys, I don't know.
Well,
yeah, we should watch the actual second Blair Witch movie, Book of Shadows.
No.
We watched
sorry.
a trailer for
I
it.
tried. No,
Is
I
it
tried.
scary?
I started watching the first 30
Did you really?
seconds. The second one was so bad, just in the first 30 seconds, that I just turned it off.
Oh, so it's just
I couldn't
bad.
do it. I couldn't do it.
I remember there being like in the trailer. I think there was like a lot of like new metal
Yes.
and just like very like bad.
It was not
2000s.
first person point of view. It was lots of new metal.
Yeah.
And it was like that kind of weird deep fried imagery where it's like, you know, kind
Oh,
of like
Yeah.
like the Seven thing.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, I stopped. Yeah. All I'm saying is I'm not gonna die in a Portland tunnel. That's it.
Oh, that's where we started. Okay. All right.
Bringing it back around.
All right. Well, let's start talking about the ghoulies, the
Shall we?
ghosties.
ooh.
So the first one I'm talking about is Jennifer Jo Crew, which is I'm assuming a boat. I forgot what this was.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I forgot.
Cut all that out. In 1902, the drugged, brutally treated, shanghaied crew, around 100 men, who were chained together in the bowels of the four-masted schooner, the Jennifer Jo, died on board when the ship sank in the Portland harbor. So staring at the tunnels, supposedly nearest the water, every year on the anniversary of their drowning at sea, they rush back as a group,
What?
looking for those responsible, hoping to get justice.
Okay, wait. I need first person accounts of this. Are people saying they saw a group of ghosts?
Yeah, think like Return of the King, like bunch of ghosts coming
Just
off of a
running.
boat. Yep, flowing off of a boat.
Is that I don't understand though. It's like what?
I don't know.
Like
Yeah, I
has
don't
someone seen this?
Various witnesses have seen them, heard them, and actually have been touched by a cold, wet hand.
Okay, all right, okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that would look like.
Ew, a
like
cold,
a
wet
giant
hand.
wave
Gross.
of ghosts is what I'm assuming. Yeah. That's good. All right, so the next one is the remnants of a gangster massacre.
Hey.
So, during the Prohibition years, the gangsters ran a speakeasy, supposedly, out of one of the basements of the businesses connected to the tunnels that runs between Ringler's on Stark Avenue and the Crystal Ballroom located on Burnside Street. I guess if you live in Portland, you probably know where those are. So terror reigned when a rival gang showed up wearing stolen Portland policeman uniforms.
Dude, you can't do that. That's illegal. Sorry.
These were bad guys.
Yeah.
They were armed with Tommy guns and axes.
Nice.
People at this party and the gangsters who ran it escaped down the tunnel with the killers close behind them. And all was lost, though, when the frightened people came to a narrowing of the tunnel where they were massacred along with the gangsters.
That's so horrible.
Yeah. So, paranormal activity.
Wait, did that actually happen?
I don't really know. Like I said, like all of this is kind of like this is like kind of
Iffy.
urban legend. I don't know.
How'd they get the bodies out? Is it in the
They washed out.
newspapers? Well, I guess I don't know.
Yeah, I don't. There's like logistics of the story that's like, if you don't like, if no one recorded pulling like 30 bodies out of a tunnel, like
I know,
why-
right? But they were mostly criminals, right?
yeah, I guess so. So paranormal activity has been active in the pub, Scooter McQuaid's Bar and Grill, located
I'm
right.
sorry. Again on the name?
Scooter McQuaid's Bar and Grill.
Scooter McQuaid's.
McQuaid's.
McQuaid. McQuaid's?
McQuaid's.
Scooter McQuaid's.
Yep.
Wow.
it was located right above where these souls were murdered. A brave group went down to the basement.
Oh, here we go.
And put their ears up to the bricked-up doorway to the tunnel.
Okay.
They heard a chorus of terrified cries and moans getting louder and louder.
That's horrifying.
Coming right at the door they were listening at.
Oh my gosh, that's horrifying.
They scurried upstairs and then witnessed the glowing entities rush through the pub, but never quite making it outside before disappearing. Yeah, that kind of reminds me of a Rory story about him being in the mine and like hearing the like moaning,
see, but the
getting
thing
louder
is,
and louder.
the only reason I think that tunnel thing is scary is because I know Rory personally. And he did not make that up.
Yeah.
Legitimately, that's what he heard.
Yeah.
So that is freaking terrifying.
Spooky.
Horrifying.
So there's also the ghosts of crimps, like I mentioned before. They are.
Why do they get ghosts? Screw you! You don't deserve ghosts.
I don't know. Like,
You don't deserve ghosts.
That's like the story of like the Winchester Mansion guys who just like come back, like the workers who just come back and chill at the Winchester Mansion.
I know.
Like, why would you ever do that?
Yeah.
Why would you ever go back to your job?
Yeah.
So psychic clairvoyant mediums have seen them in the tunnels, hulking, dark, shadowy figures with burning red eyes.
Oh,
I never thought about that before. A buff ghost, like that's got to be way more scary than just seeing like a pair of eyes, like seeing like a large looming dark shadow.
I think that's what makes like Mothman so creepy. Is that like he's huge
massive
shape and you can't quite make it out. It's just a giant mass.
Nope, you just gave me chills. Stop.
you have the biggest armpit.
It begins.
Hole in your armpit.
Don't call attention to it.
Stop.
It's so big.
So people get an uneasy feeling and sense a thick atmosphere in some parts of the tunnels.
Gross.
And feel like they are being watched intensely by these entities. Also, an evil presence, supposedly of a bartender that helped the crimps with their shanghaiing, is reported to haunt the Lotus nightclub. Employees working at this establishment hate going into the basement alone, which I feel like would be pretty common.
Yeah.
One brave bartender was alone in the club one night cleaning up after closing. He went down to the basement when he heard the CO2 canisters going off by itself in the bar upstairs. He hurried upstairs and found a single shot glass upside down on the bar.
Oh,
that's awesome.
And then this is probably, I think, one of the most famous Shanghai tunnel ghosts. It's the ghost of Nina. It's spelt Nina. But they made sure, I think, in like most of the articles I read, to pronounce it Nina. In the old Merchant Hotel lobby, there is a pizza restaurant called Old Town Pizza.
Sparrows? Oh. Okay.
No.
Old Town Pizza.
In the Old Town, they have Old Town Pizza.
Exactly. Underneath the ore boards is an entrance to the Shanghai tunnels. I don't really know what ore boards are. Oh, floorboards. Okay.
I was about to be like, wait, is it
underneath the ore boards?
I don't really know what those are, but you guys can just guess.
Okay. Anyways. As legend goes, one of the young working women was Nina, sold into this life by a thriving white slavery market.
Boo!
In an effort to clean up the neighborhood, traveling missionaries convinced Nina to share information in exchange for freeing her from a fate she did not choose. Nina cooperated, but soon afterward was found dead in the hotel. She supposedly was thrown down the elevator shaft. Nina is reported to have never left the building. And I feel like this is kind of maybe in poor taste. According to legend, one of the booths in the restaurant is situated in the old elevator shaft where she met her end. And supposedly there is a brick in that booth with her name etched on it.
Okay. Why do you think that's in poor taste?
It just seems weird that they would like advertise having like, I guess, the final resting place of a woman who was murdered.
Yeah.
It seems a little bit weird. I don't know.
Yeah.
She's regarded by many as a brave heroine who dared to turn in her captors and let outsiders know what was happening.
Wow.
She makes her presence known by appearing as a lady in white or a lady wearing a black dress. So
lady in
just
black.
a lady.
Two drastically different things.
She likes to stand on the balcony and makes appearances in front of staff and patrons for her personal amusement. The aroma of her perfume is noticed by the living, and then a brief glimpse of a black dress on a figure looking over the patron's shoulders. In the early morning or closing time is when she is most active, floating and moving throughout the restaurant, moving chairs, items on the tables, and the kitchen to let employees know that she is there. When it is still, the observant person can hear her delicate footsteps tap across the floor.
Wow.
One employee was alone in the kitchen after closing, finishing up work chores. He heard the soft tapping of footsteps coming toward him. He looked up and saw a female form dressed in a long black dress walking towards him. When this female entity, Nina, saw him looking at her, she stopped, looked at him before going down the basement steps towards the blocked-off tunnel. Supposedly, on the show Ghost Hunters, also, old Zachy boy got into an EVP conversation
Oh, my Lord.
with who they assumed was Nina.
Okay.
And then she told him to get naked.
Nina.
Wow.
Yeah. And also, like, the bar that we went to in downtown Houston, they had that picture frame that supposedly you can see.
Yeah, the one that's also in an elevator, or like
yeah,
a weird.
like if you take pictures of someone in the elevator, you can supposedly see a face occasionally in the picture frame.
Yeah.
I think they have a picture frame that does that, or that supposedly does that in that elevator shaft.
Weird.
Yeah, which is kind of like, I don't know. A little bizarre. So, I found some Orby pictures. Usually I don't really go crazy
Orbe.
about them, but I wanted to show you guys and get your guys' opinion on them. So let's go to the first one.
Those are actually his eyeballs.
Supposedly there's something back there.
No.
I can't really see it. I
No,
don't
there's
know.
not.
Unless you super zoom, there's a little anime girl that's in the corner.
Oh, my
right there.
Lord.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah. All right.
Sorry, Steve-O.
Well, next one.
Here, move it like... Do it. There you go.
There is a box there.
Yeah. I don't know.
Well, is this supposed to be a video?
No,
Like-
it's just like a normal image. I just like Google searched like because I wanted to see.
I like how instead of like being blatantly obvious, like overdone photos of like it's an orb.
Yeah.
Nowadays, it's just like
There's a slight
Nothing.
discoloration
Yeah.
in the JPEG. Yeah, I don't
like
know.
the pixels are off a bit. I
don't know.
think this is a ghost.
I don't know how I feel about that one. Oh, this is
That's
from Ghost
terrifying.
Adventures. This is supposedly one of the trapdoors that they demonstrate.
That's so crazy, dude.
Boy, am I glad
That's
they
horrible.
are still there and functioning.
Yeah. Anyways,
That's horrifying.
He looks like he would work a trapdoor, yeah.
and these are the tunnels. They look.
There are
Oh,
look,
there's,
if
like,
you look right
bricks
there,
and
there's
stuff.
ghosts.
Dude, I kind of thought it was just kind of like one of the old-fashioned mining tunnels.
Oh, like super claustrophobic.
Yeah, it's just like one big circle
Yeah.
that they dug out that you can walk in. But this
Yeah.
is like, there's paneling, there's
You see it?
there's paneling, there's
Yay or nay?
brick laying.
Yeah. Like
So-
it looks like this could actually be like fixed up into an actual like underground thing.
Right.
Yeah.
We have tunnels underground in Houston,
What?
downtown.
We don't talk about those. Yeah, and that's it, guys.
Alright.
Cool. Well, I thought the story was awesome, but those pictures sucked.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's not your fault, though. I'm
not
just
a lot
saying,
of
like,
not a
doesn't
lot
make
of
sense.
Orby proof
Yeah,
pictures.
that's okay.
Yeah.
Oh, the thing that M said on, and that's why we drink, was that sometimes you can still hear men like drunkenly stumbling down in the tunnels, which I thought was interesting.
I would prefer that to the moaning and screaming. If it was just a guy just like, oh, oop,
Yep.
What?
like him stumbling and him falling over, just like,
Oh,
oh,
sure.
whoa.
Dude, speaking of stumbling, should we talk about this right now? Or should we wait?
This should have been in the beginning.
This is insane.
But it's we should probably tell it now before we forget.
Yeah.
But we went and saw Endgame today. We went to we went and saw Endgame. And as we were like walking to the theater, like you were thinking about going to the restroom, and I was just gonna like wait around for you. But then like before you left,
Literally, as I was walking, I was like, okay, cool. Well,
Yeah.
like, you go get your seat, and I'll go to the bathroom. I take a step to walk away, and we see this lanky teenager stumbling out of another theater, not the one we were walking into, another theater. And at first I saw him, and I was just like, that's just a teenager goofing off, like, whatever.
Yeah.
And then he stumbled and fell over and like rammed his face into the wall and then
He,
fell
like,
onto the floor.
Yeah, he like basically almost passed out.
Yes, I think his face hitting the wall like kind of woke him up.
Yeah.
And then he hit the floor and he was just like ow.
Stunned. Yeah.
So we freaked out.
Yeah.
Like we were like literally everyone around us was just they just kept walking.
Yeah.
They just ignored this kid. Just kept
they like
going.
looked at him and then started walking away.
That's it. Like we literally saw this kid run into a wall and then fall down, and we were like, "Dude, are you okay?" And he was like stunned, and I was like, "Hey, like, are you okay?" And he was like, yeah, that movie's just really graphic." And I was
What?
like, wait, graphic? Like you mean like are you epileptic?
Yeah.
Are you about to go into a seizure? Because I thought he meant like the graphics were too
like,
crazy.
intense.
Yeah, I thought that's what he meant. And he was like, no. And then he laid down, I guess because he was still kind of out of it. And he just hit his face.
Yeah.
And then he stopped responding to us.
Yeah.
And we were like, hey, dude, like, are you okay? And I was like, are you with anyone? Do you have anyone with you? And he just kind of like laid there. And we were like, do you have anyone with you? And he was like, yeah, my friend. And I was like, well, do you want me to go get your friend? Can you text him to come here? And he was like, no, I told him I'd be right back.
Yeah.
And we were like, are you gonna be okay? And he was like, I'm okay.
Yeah, and they were like, we need to get you like some water or something like that.
No, yeah, like we needed to do something. And he was
Yeah.
like, wait, can you give me water?
Yeah.
And so I went and stood in line to get water, and then Chris went to the guest services and told someone,
Yeah.
and no one did anything.
Oh
Well,
my
he like
gosh.
got on his radio and like asked the other guy on the other end in Spanish, like, hey, can you go check out this kid or something like that? And then like I just like sort of stood there waiting for him to like tell me like, it'll be okay, sir. But he just like looked at me and then turned away and started helping another guest, and I was like, okay, I guess we're done here. So,
Yeah, so by the
Yeah.
time Chris got back, I got the water. We walked over. He's still laying there. No one is around him.
Yeah.
No one cares that this kid is sprawled out. And so I was like, here you go, my dude, and got you some water. And he was like, oh, thanks. And he like stood up or like sat up and took a drink. And I was like, what are you watching? What movie were you
Yeah.
watching? He was like, oh, I was watching Unplanned. Have you heard of Unplanned?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Us
We
either.
hadn't either.
I was like, dude, I don't know what that is. And I looked at you and I
Yeah.
was like, you didn't know what it was.
No.
And we were like, what are you talking about? And he was like, it's about abortion. And immediately it clicked that when he said that movie's so graphic,
yeah, it's about abortion.
yeah,
Oh
that
my
it was
gosh.
like gory, graphic, bloody. And we were both like simultaneously, we were like, oh,
Yeah.
okay. So this kid got so squeamish in this movie that he almost passed out
Yeah.
trying to save
Jeez.
himself, and then still was so squeamish that he basically passed out and then ran into a wall.
Yeah.
Gosh.
And then
Yeah.
you like looked up the movie as we were about to watch it, and
Yeah, it's
supposedly it's a pro-life movie, but like supposedly they went out of their way to make it as
Yeah.
obscenely graphic as
Is it
possible.
supposed to be a horror movie?
It's not a horror movie.
No.
It's based off of a book that was written by a woman who used to work at Planned Parenthood, that she's now a pro-lifer. And so they show multiple different types of abortions. Yeah, and
Jeez.
apparently it's just very, very bloody. And this kid obviously cannot handle blood.
Yeah.
So that was insane, dude.
Yeah.
I'm never going to get the image of that kid running into the wall out of my head ever. And I feel so bad for him. He was fine.
Yeah.
Like, he was okay. He was just stunned and really squeamish.
And
I'm
then-
glad he didn't throw up. He could have thrown up.
Yeah. He was just kind of like laying on the ground.
Yeah. And so I was like, "Are you cool?" And he was like, "Yeah, I'll be fine." I'm like, "All right, dude.
Yeah.
Cool, man."
Anyways,
So that was weird.
that was it.
So stumbling.
The only fun theater story that I ever had was when I went with my family to see Finding Dory, and there was a family sitting right next to me and Chris who were blatantly recording it on their phone. And so, like, when the movie was over, we
my
walked really quickly to be in front of them, and I went up to one of the employees of the place and I was like, "Hey,
Oh my goodness, here we go.
this guy right behind me, he recorded the whole movie." And then I could say some stuff
Yeah.
about the people. I won't.
Okay.
I'll let it be.
The 15-year-old was like, "Who cares?" Like,
And
please
so
get
like
out so I can clean
they
it.
like waddled past me really quick and out the door, and I was like, that's the guy, and he's like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was
Yeah.
like, all right.
Disney ain't paying him.
And Chris is like, I just can't believe they got away with it. And I was like,
Can I please? Okay.
Go
You
ahead.
guys stole
I need
music.
to stop. I need to
Stop!
stop.
What are you doing? Cut that!
You two.
You can't do that! You can't do that! Don't! No! No!
When your crimes are brought into the light, suddenly.
Okay, so
Stop.
the listeners know where we were going with that. I don't even have to say anything else. All I'm saying is that was the most hypocritical thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
No.
That's all I'm saying.
No.
That is the most hypocritical thing I've ever heard.
That's not.
That's all. I'm not saying any.
That entire story is
anything
now
else.
cut from this episode.
We didn't say anything, McAnally. I don't know what you're talking
Poltergeist.
about.
So, I had something planned out for.
Just ignore her.
No. Why does she do it only when I'm talking?
She's so excited.
Let's talk about stupid stories. Yeah, you good? You finished? Anyways, I had some stuff lined out for urban legends and myths and stuff like that. But then something kind of sad in the paranormal world happened. Miss Lorraine Warren passed away.
Aw,
And this
R.I.P.
was like a week or two after we stopped recording. And I was like, well, when we bring it back, I'll, do a piece on her and her husband. So I did some digging, and a website, my source today is Dread Central, did a cover of the top 6 most famous cases that the Warrens
I see.
yeah,
Okay.
did their stuff.
Okay.
Okay. Why are you talking? Are you gonna sneeze? And you're gonna fart. Okay.
No, I had to. Okay.
Yep.
He had to stretch out his
The
butt.
more you fight it.
So, anyways, the Warrens. They go into a bit of a. Well, no, I'll talk about them real quick. You shouldn't assume that everybody knows who everybody is. The late Lauren and Ed Warren are
Lorraine.
infamous. Infamous. That's mean.
They are infamous.
Infamous in the field of paranormal research, and thanks to their high-profile cases in media, many of their investigations have provided source material for popular horror films throughout the years.
Such as Amityville Horror and Annabelle.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
I just want you to know. I want you to know that I know.
Yeah.
So anyways, they were often dismissed as hacks by critics, notably due to the couple's courting of media attention. It is understandable why some would be skeptical of their line of work. However, whether you believe the validity of their research or not, there's no denying that it makes for effective horror storytelling. Here are some of their famous cases, so on and so forth. All right, so the first is Annabelle. Haunted dolls are a staple in horror cinema. There is just something so inherently creepy about dolls. It makes perfect sense for filmmakers to use them to induce nightmares in the context of a thriller movie.
I like how they took the concept of Annabelle and they looked at the actual doll and they're like, oh, that doll's, I guess, kind of creepy if you look at it right. And then they went and made like
The actual Annabelle?
Yeah,
because the actual Annabelle is a Raggedy Ann doll.
they looked at it and they were like, well, I guess like if you tell me it's possessed by a demon, I guess that's kind of creepy. And then they went and they made like a doll that no actual human would ever make.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
so.
To like be a doll, like
I don't know.
Yeah, the one in the movie that's like evil puppet, obviously.
yeah,
It's basically like a living girl doll or like a
Man,
what's
what kind
the
of little girl looks like that?
American Girl. That's what
Oh,
I'm talking
American
about.
Girl
Like
doll.
American, like where it's kind of like
Yeah.
kind of
yeah, I could
3/4
see that.
scale
It
or whatever.
It almost reminds me of like a
Porcelain
more
doll.
twisted version of the Night of the Living Dummy.
Yeah.
Oh.
I should know his name, but I don't.
And that's twisted with the Z.
Ooh.
Is what I was referring to.
That's my favorite
Yeah.
Juggalo band. Twisted.
So, anyways,
Sorry, we're off.
when you walk into the room and meet with the gaze of the doll, it feels like its eyes are penetrating. Go ahead.
Meet with the gays. I'm sorry. I
Get
was
all
like,
your
wait,
little
what?
Snickers out.
When you
What?
meet with the gays,
I was like, what? Where are we
they
going?
have the doll.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
All right, cut that.
It feels like they are penetrating your inner fears. There have been countless horror films featuring them, including the Conjuring spin-off Annabelle, based on the real-life case. According to the Warrens, the real Annabelle case dates all the way back to 1970, when a Raggedy Ann doll was purchased from an antique store by a woman for her daughter. Upon arriving home that day, the doll was tossed on the bed and not given a second thought. At least not until it started to make itself more comfortable by changing positions. Alarmed, but choosing not to let superstitions cloud their logic, they attributed the doll's shifting positions to the bed being nudged. Their opinions changed when it started making itself at home. The doll was also a deft hand with the quill, leaving notes around the house which contained the message, "Help me and help Lou." Then one night they would return home and find the doll covered in blood. Thus, an expert was called in who put them into contact with the spirit inhabiting the doll. Her name was Annabelle, a 7-year-old girl who was murdered years before and left to rot in a field. During the seance with the expert medium, Annabelle told them she felt comfortable living with them and wanted to stay.
No.
You know, reading it and then seeing the doll itself, not a fan. Feeling sympathetic, the mother and daughter agreed to let the doll stay with them.
Do you know what that is? Do you know what that is? What just happened in that moment?
Why are you doing this? I am already freaked out! Let me finish!
So this is great, guys.
You know what you're doing? You know what this is right now? You know what that is? You're possessed.
Not you. You're being too loud.
Go ahead.
Not you, but what they did. Do you understand?
They invited a demon in.
Exactly.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for,
Wasn't
I'm just so excited. I know what it is.
feasting upon my shattered psyche is what you're doing.
the demon already there when they purchased the doll?
Yeah,
The
but
demon was
you
there.
have to invite them in or
It
something.
needed permission. What it was asking for was permission to be linked to them.
But it was
Not just the doll.
I just wanted to read my article and have a good
okay.
night, and you're over here just like, you know what you did.
so by like talking about a demon, it invites them to.
No, but the thing is, they said they felt bad for the little dead girl, so they were
Yeah.
like, "Hey, you can stay," and it's like, "Oh, I can,"
well, why is the little girl a demon? I'm confused.
because it's not a little girl. That's what they're saying, that it's not a ghost of little girl. It's just a demon.
Demon lying about a little girl.
I
They
mean,
can do that?
Oh my lord, I'm gonna pinch you so hard.
why would a little girl just be
Oh
covered
my
in blood?
goodness.
Come on.
Whose blood was it? How'd they get it out? That doll does not have any blood in the picture.
Yeah, it ran to the pig trough, and
Okay.
Why is there blood in the pig trough?
because the pigs, they drink blood.
Oh.
Anyways, they're vampire pigs.
I wasn't raised on a farm.
Remember that episode? Anyways, now that Mac is having a...
Now that you're cursed.
I don't know why
Yeah.
you're mad at me because you chose
Because
this.
first off, okay, look, I'm trying to read and get past the stupid freaking picture, and you're just like,
What you did.
Stop, you're too loud.
am I?
Killing him.
Am I?
This poor man.
What a way to come back.
Poor man is melting right
Can't
now.
even get past the first story, too. There's like 5 more.
This episode is going to be like 5 hours long.
Yep, I'm trying.
We either don't record at all or we record too much.
Oh,
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
all right. They said the doll can stay. However, before Ashley got to it, however, it was telling fibs.
Oh, no.
This was no little girl. Annabelle was a demon with behavioral problems.
Called it.
How are you going to sit here and say the demon has behavioral
yeah.
problems?
This is pretty on par for a
They got
demon.
they got a demon psychiatrist, and it's like, yeah, he's got problems.
I mean, we're bad, but he's like really bad.
That was a really good Beetlejuice impression.
Oh, thanks.
You're welcome.
The Warrens were brought in to investigate, and their results concluded the doll was possessed. It now resides in their occult museum in Connecticut, living the dream in a display case for paying customers to goggle at. Nah, I'm good.
I don't want to be near that doll at all. I don't even want to look at it.
Oh yeah.
Thanks.
So
We went to what is it? the Curious Collection, and they were like
The
creepy.
Wild is Oscar Wilde collection.
No.
Not
Not
Oscar
the Oscar
Wilde.
Wilde collection.
I'm sorry.
It was just a bunch of
It's
plays.
just Wild. It's just the Wild collection.
Yeah,
That's what it's called.
But they had creepy dolls that they found like in like Galveston homes,
Yeah.
hanging on the walls.
Yeah. One they found like in the wall in the attic.
Yeah, and it's
They
also
kept like knocking and stuff, and they finally opened up the wall, and there was a doll there.
it's also a peacock sanctuary,
Yes, so cool.
which is pretty awesome.
Yeah. Check out the Wild collection on Yale, you guys.
That place is pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's pretty spooky.
I legit have thought about calling them and asking them to sponsor our podcast.
That'd be really
Like
fun.
if we would do like a commercial with them, or like have a person come
I'm
on.
having heart
and...
palpitations.
If we could record in their place,
No, I would
place has
not
gotta
do
be
that.
haunted.
I would not do that. That is
gotta-
way too freaky.
It's gonna have like 10 ghosts that are just like constantly conflicting with each other.
I want art now of like me. Like, have you seen the picture? It's like it's from some old sci-fi book or something like that. But everybody keeps saying it's like a level 1 guy in an MMO, and it's just the guy
The guy hitting
hitting
the
all the
crab.
crabs. It's just me like struggling with like a million tiny dolls grasping onto me. T-shirt idea.
Yeah.
You're gonna be really mad when I'm sleeping at the foot of your bed tonight.
Ew, no.
No. Too bad.
What if you had 2 ghosts in the house? Like,
They had to fight each other.
well, whenever you turn off a light, usually the one ghost would turn it back on and spook you out. But then the other ghost would see the ghost turning it on, and the other ghost would turn it off, so that you wouldn't notice there's 2 ghosts, but they're always to get like fighting against each other.
My stomach
That would be
really
really
hurts right
funny.
now.
Like opening a door and then closing a door.
That would
and then,
be
like,
a hilarious movie.
It's funny because my mental health was in such a great place before we came back to record.
maybe that's why we don't notice any happenings. So we have 2
Oh,
ghosts.
because they negate
yeah,
each other. They're just like, okay.
it's a positive and a negative ghost.
No, yeah.
Anyways,
I like
continue.
it.
I'm sorry.
No, no.
Let's get that off the
Please.
stupid
All
story.
I'm saying is this is good content already, so I like talking about it. I know what it
Right.
is, and I want people to know that I know what it is. That's it.
That's nice.
Well,
So, anyways,
what's the next one?
number 2. Number 2.
Number 2.
Because we're not over that guy.
He's coming
Never.
back.
The
man.
world is,
Yeah.
but we're not. The Perrin family haunting.
Give you a refresher.
By inviting them, you're inviting the parent
Yeah,
family.
now the
to
family's
come.
going to come over. Yeah. Honestly, I just have such a much more wholesome thought of like the ghost of like Alexander Hamilton and Aaron Burr, and they just constantly want to kill each other. So they're not haunting anything. They're too busy hating each other to
Yeah.
like, you know, which sucks because Aaron Burr got to live a full life, a sucky life,
Yeah.
but a full life. Anyways, the Perrin family haunting. By now, some of you will be aware of the true story behind The Conjuring. It's been well documented following the monumental success of James Wan's film. James Wan's, sorry. However, if you hadn't read up on it, here's what happened. Seeking the tranquility of the country, Roger and Carolyn Perrin, yeah. She must really love him if she had to sign up for that name. Along with their children, decided to move to Harrisville, Rhode Island. Rhode Island.
Oh, wow.
In 1970.
Small state has the biggest ghosts.
Literally, like just...
Very rotund.
Yeah. To the naked eye, the old Arnold estate looked like the perfect home for the family life. Unbeknownst to the family, it was property burdened by generations of disturbing suicides and murder.
Okay.
You've got to ask these questions up front. Anytime you're buying property, just like
Yeah, this is why they disclose
suicide, murder, blood dolls. Come on.
blood dolls.
I'm like, that's awfully specific, but I mean, yeah, we're the one other house that had the blood doll. At first, the spirits were harmless, friendly even. They would help with the chores. What do you mean?
They would help with the chores.
Yeah, they would like lick the dishes clean. And be like, I don't know that I like the ectoplasm.
And then they would fart them dry.
However, later they would discover the not-so-nice spirits, the upstarts, who would bang doors, make furniture levitate, and assault members of the family.
Wait, what?
Though it hasn't been disclosed, it has been suggested that one of the spirits even molested one of the children.
No, you should have warned that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
if that was ever in question, you need to immediately first look at the family, and that kid need to be removed. However, the worst of all the spirits was, and why does this one get a name? That's not fair. The worst of all the spirits was Bathsheba Sherman, a witch and Satanist back in the day, who hanged herself on a tree on the property when she lived there.
Why'd she hang herself?
Wow.
Sometime in the 19th century, she was also an unsociable old wench. Now you're just trying to provoke her.
Yeah.
Wow.
And she was ugly, too. One night, Miss Perrin awoke
So
to
is it
find
just like is it just like this old woman whose husband died, or maybe she never got married and she lives alone, and they're like, there's something wrong
exactly.
with
She's
her.
a witch.
Obviously, she's a
You kidding
witch.
me?
Yeah.
You kidding me?
I mean,
She's
before
a
she moved to Rhode Island, she lived in Newport. So,
Oh yeah.
anyways, one night Miss Perrin awoke to find the witch sitting at her bed, warning her to get out,
Creepy.
get out. I'll drive you out with the death and gloom. Needless to say, she wasn't welcoming with him with the casserole.
Okay.
From then on out, the hauntings worsened until the family was forced to leave. Unlike in the film, the Warrens were unable to dispel the vicious spirits, forcing the family to vacate their home when finances allowed them to. The following owners also reported the occurrences of paranormal activity. I will never
What happens,
understand that.
What happens if you bulldoze a house?
Exactly. Well, it doesn't matter. What matters to me, no, the thing that bothers me is that so often in these stories, true or, fictitious, people are like, there's nothing we can do until we can afford to. No, leave.
Oh.
I would sooner live in my truck than live in a haunted house.
Yeah. I mean, I guess so.
No, man, my lease isn't up for another year. No, screw you. You can find me under the bridge. The only thing I'd rather real people eat me before the ghosts do. So the Amityville Horror, we're slowly getting there.
Okay.
Perhaps the most famous Warren case, due in no small part to the Amityville Horror film franchise and best-selling book of the same name. It is a case beleaguered by controversy resulting in lawsuits. However, read about it. Oh, never mind. I hate that there's no way of telling unless you read a full sentence whether it's read or read. Drives me nuts. However, read about it before bed with the lights off, and it might send chills up your spine. You think? The original movie will make me make boom boom. So
I have a secret about this one.
Oh
no.
yeah.
Here we
I'll
go.
wait until you're done.
Un gallo con muchos huevos. It's Gallo. I'm sorry. On November 13th, 1974, Ronald DeFeo Jr. shot and killed 6 members of his family, including his parents and siblings, in a house situated in the quiet suburban neighborhood in Amityville, Long Island. George and Kathy Lutz and their 3 children moved into the house. After 28 days, the Lutz left the house, claiming to have been terrorized by spooks while living in there. Don't show me pictures. Screw you.
Pictures of spooks?
There's criticisms surrounding the case have accused it of being sensationalized, inaccurate, or just flat out false. Regardless, George and Kathy both believe the events to be true, even took a polygraph test to appease the naysayers, which they passed. Perhaps the most upsetting facet about this case is the Spawn series. Perhaps the most upsetting facet about this case is that it spawned the series, which included the Amityville Dollhouse. Oh, yeah.
I thought you were going to say it started the Spawn series.
Yeah.
Oh no! Stop! I don't like that.
That's just a little
creepy.
kid.
Yeah, you say that, but
Creepy.
children are evil.
Oh, okay.
So anyways, the Einfeld Poltergeist, James Wan's The Conjuring 2, which has no connection to The Conjuring 1, is based on this case, which dates all the way back to 1977. Unfortunately, it doesn't stray too far from the events which transpired during the other supposed hauntings. Ghosts like to shift furniture, bang on walls, make objects float. Not to be insensitive to the people who have supposedly experienced hauntings, but their lack of creativity is to blame for the formulaic tropes that make it a stale supernatural film. Rant over. However, solace can be taken in knowing that Wan's craftsmanship will make the movie one of the better ones. Okay, can we talk about the case?
Yeah, why?
The case took place within a council house in Brimston, England, when Mother Peggy Hodgson claimed her children witnessed toys being thrown and furniture shifting. When the police were called, one of the constables were sure he witnessed a chair moving by itself, though he wasn't sure as to whether it was ghostly or mundane jostling. Okay. As time went on, the children were raised into the air and demonic voices tormented the family. The Einfeld poltergeist story attracted substantial UK press coverage between the years 1977 and 1979. As such, with cases like this, it had supporters and detractors. Freelance writer Guy Leon Playfair was adamant the house was haunted, even chronicling his findings in his book in 1980, This House is Haunted. Great book.
Pretty sure I've heard of this one too.
Other investigations have dismissed this as a hoax. This is kind of a stupid picture, but supposedly.
Yeah, I have seen this one.
Yep.
It's
and that's why we did a thing on it.
It seems questionable.
Because you could literally jump and take a picture. Like I'm sorry, if your teenage kid is floating, you're gonna take a picture?
Yeah.
Well, no. Or like, that was them documenting it. That dude, they had people come in and live at the house and document things that went on. And it specifically was that one teenage girl that was like getting all of this activity, all of these things happening to her. She would get choked, like choked out. She would get thrown around. And researchers swear that they saw this with their own eyes as it was happening. So.
Didn't you say you had a secret about the Amityville that you were going to say?
It's fake. It was proved to be a hoax.
Oh. Well, there you go.
There you go.
And what about those researchers? Or is this
This is a different one. This is the one in England.
I saw the, which was, you're talking about the Amityville being fake.
Yeah, the whole haunting itself.
Right. Yeah.
Like, there was a murder in that house.
Yeah.
But the family that moved in after, they were not being haunted. It's proven that it was all just a hoax. They all lied about it.
Well, that's like your opinion, so...
Ryan Reynolds wouldn't lie in the remake.
Golly, was that remake bad?
Wait,
yeah, it was.
What?
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds. Was it? Wait.
That was Sam Rockwell in Poltergeist, the remake?
No.
Poltergeist. We're talking about Amityville Horror.
Oh, I've never seen it.
It was Ryan Reynolds. Anyways, the
I've never seen that.
trial of Arnie Cheyenne Johnson. The trial of Arnie Cheyenne Johnson in 1981 is the first known court case in the United States to use the devil made me do it defense. As such, it was the moniker given to the case by the media during the time in which America's satanic panic epidemic was first gaining traction following their supposed ritual abuse.
Yep.
Even though this had nothing to do with cults, the devil was in the headlines and people were scared. The story involved the murder of landlord Alan Bono at the hands of Arnie Cheyenne Johnson, while the later's fiancee watched in horror. Johnson claimed that he was possessed when he murdered his landlord, but wasn't the first time the involved parties had encountered demonic activity. Prior to the murder, the 11-year-old brother of Johnson's fiancee, Debbie Glatzel, played host to demons. When the Warrens were called in to dispel the demons from the child's body, Johnson apparently invited them into his, and they obliged.
No.
The defense didn't stand up in court, and Johnson was convicted on the charge of manslaughter, serving a 4-year sentence. A full account of the experience can be read in Gerald Brittle's book, The Devil in Connecticut. Cut that. The Devil in Connecticut.
Connecticut.
Connecticut. Next, A Haunting in Connecticut.
I saw that movie.
1986, Carmen and Al Snedker moved to Southington, Connecticut to be closer to the hospital treating their ailing son, renting a nearby house which used to be a funeral home. No.
Wow.
With the remnants of the mortuary still in the basement.
Whoa.
No. As well as a graveyard outside, it was already synonymous with death.
Wow, you're just asking for it, dude.
Wait, you rented a house with a graveyard?
They're saying that it used to be a mortuary, but if there's people in the basement, it didn't used to.
Yeah,
it's still a mortuary.
Used to be a mortuary. You're saying it was like literally a mortuary yesterday.
We don't do that anymore.
So, the supernatural occurrences reportedly consist of water turning red, lights flickering, dishes moving on their own, and the appearance of the dead. Some of the events shown in the film, such as the kid being spun around by the invisible force and the discovery of the toe tags, also occurred, so says the Snedkers. According to the Warrens, the spirits were ticked off because the morticians used to have sex with the dead bodies. This case had been disputed as a hoax, with author Ray Garton, who was hired by the Warrens to write a book about it, even criticizing it for not adding up. Previous and future residents also dismissed the case as being fabricated for the sake of Hollywood hype. The Smurl haunting. Another case, another poltergeist, causing the same type of mayhem we've come to expect from these supernatural
Wait,
miscreants.
look. You're just reading through this. Take your time. Read the thing.
So it was the Warrens that...
So, yeah, the Warrens came in and they're like, hey, these
haunted.
people are sexing the dead bodies. That's
Okay.
why you're having trouble.
Okay.
And they're like, wow. Evidence, please? Well, the demons told me so. Okay, let me slow it down. The Smurl haunting, which I believe... No, there's 2 more. Or there's 1 more after that. Okay. Another case, another poltergeist causing the same type of mayhem we've come to expect from these supernatural miscreants. This time the story revolves around Jack and Janet, my grandparents.
What?
Smurl. Never mind. Who experienced a well-documented haunting from 1974 to 1987. The hauntings were chronicled in a book in 1986 and adapted for a film in 1991. Both of which were aptly titled The Haunted.
Oh.
I guess,
The movie was called The Haunted?
Yeah.
Oh.
You gotta snatch up those good names while you still can.
I'm surprised it wasn't taken.
Can't use The Haunted there. The family claimed that a television burst into flames, water pipes leaked, markings appeared on the wall, and toilets flushed by themselves, which is the worst.
Some of those things could be just normal house stuff, though.
Yeah.
No.
I guess like TVs exploding is pretty. It's pretty messed up, but like
the
pipes
TV's
do burst
exploding.
sometimes.
That's true, man.
The investigation into the house was dismissed as a hoax by the American Society for Psychical Research, Paul Kurtz.
Oh, there's such a thing.
Then chairman of the Committee for the Scientific Investigation of Claims of the Paranormal, stated that the Warrens weren't even credible investigators, while dismissing the Smurl story as either a hoax or manifestation brought on by a delusion. Either way, their story still received enough national media and attention to warrant them a book deal.
So they were kind of like rock stars.
Controversial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I glanced over the thing that actually involved the Warrens. When the Warrens arrived, their findings discovered 3 demonic entities were responsible for the misdemeanors. Therefore, a priest had to be called. So it seems like it was just like one of the closed case ones. Just like 3 demons, get a priest, pay up.
Yeah. I mean, you have to have some be like normal.
True. They can't all be
thing.
salacious.
Yeah.
They can't all be like 3 million year epics that like they make into 5 books and 4 different movies.
It was the Aztec prince.
Some of them is just like we need some money, so we got to get this book deal.
Yeah, you got 3 demons. Just come on.
Look, we're not trying to make this complicated. Just get these out
Could you
of
at
here.
least say 4? No, no. So the last one, and this is a doozy. If you thought the Warrens were fakers, shame on you. So let's talk about the demonic werewolf in London.
Wait, what? I'm sorry, demonic werewolf?
The demonic werewolf in London.
Oh, no.
Does it? Wait, there's too many qualifiers.
They are credible. Stop it.
It's like,
It's not the werewolf in London.
Yeah.
It's not the demon in London. It's the demonic werewolf in London. Finally, something to break the monotony of the ghosts and their furniture throwing hissy fits. Boy, do I love the guy that wrote this article. This time we have a werewolf, or at least a hybrid of a demon and werewolf. This account was based on the story of Bill Ramsey, a real werewolf in London. Ramsey first demonstrated demonically possessed lycanthrope behavior at the age of 9. Apparently, he displayed superhuman strength, even managing to rip out posts from the concrete dwelling. Mailboxes? Yeah. He would also try to bite at his family and relatives before having seizures. In 1983, now a grown man, he admitted himself to an institution after the craving for blood returned. When in the hospital, he attacked a nurse and barked like a dog. In 1987, while displaying a wolfish demeanor, he attacked a police officer with superhuman force. It took more than 6 officers altogether to restrain the beast. The fiasco led to mass news coverage. The Warrens were also on point to wrestle with the raging mongrel. The Warrens were on point to wrestle the raging mongrel from his wicked soul. After being flown to Connecticut, the wolf demon was exorcised successfully, and Ramsey had been a good dog ever since. Shame on you.
Wow,
Shame
that's
on
not
you.
okay.
Wait, so, like, he can be a werewolf, but he can't just be a possessed werewolf.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay that he has the potential to bite people, but if the demon's making him bite people,
Yeah.
that's a bad thing.
Yeah.
Yes?
So,
There's so many weird things in this story.
don't look at the feet.
I don't want to see it.
Okay.
So yeah, he's very not wolf-like, but you can imagine that, if that guy was Ramsey, I'd probably believe it, but this is Ramsey right here. He's just a man.
He, the things you would consider a werewolf, I feel like he does not possess.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't grow into a wolf. If he is possessed, like, demons in the Bible have made people, like,
Right.
bark like dogs, and
Yeah.
so, like, if he is possessed, then, like, that could be why that is happening. It doesn't necessarily mean that he's a werewolf. I don't know. Also, haven't demon possessions been linked with giving people, like, potentially superhuman strength?
Have they?
I mean, like,
In the Bible,
I mean,
That's what people say, right?
it's been, I mean, it seems to be like a common thing.
I don't get where the wolf comes from.
yeah, I don't know. I think it's just a demon that had animalistic tendencies to possess this man and made him portray those tendencies. That's okay.
But yeah, that's the Warrens. So be honest. What's your thoughts?
I mean, I always respected them. I didn't know a lot about them, but I respected them.
Yeah.
You know?
I think it's cool that they have a collection, but also it might be like they're sort of like traveling, well, I guess not really traveling, but they're sort of like museum, like wax museum almost, of like creepy crawly, like, hey, come look at this sort of things. I mean, I don't know. The fact that they're able to so successfully like capitalize on their exploits kind of seems a little bit weird. Like, are you actually doing this because you're interested in paranormal, or are you just doing it because, like, it's lucrative for you?
Yeah.
Both. I think they did it because of both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's like some instances, like reading that first one, you can rewind this podcast to when I scream. But there are some cases where it's like the stuff's already there for them. When it comes to like the mortuary and they're like, oh yeah, you've been having sex with these bodies.
Yeah.
Shame on you, employees.
You gotta spice it up a little bit.
That's a bit like,
Yeah.
that's a bold claim there, guys. Wow.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think there's I think there's a little bit of everything. You know, I hate to sound like a politician in saying that my final opinion of the Warrens, but I think you can't do what they did and not have a passion for it. But it definitely made their wallets fat to some degree.
I mean,
Like,
James Wan still making movies.
True.
yeah,
True.
yeah. He's scraping the bottom of that barrel. Like, there's something here.
La Llorona is not the bottom of the barrel.
Okay.
That is a gold nugget.
Yes. thank
It's
you.
not fair that it's connected to the same universe. Why is it? Also, okay,
Is
look,
it
let's
supposed
just,
to be part of the content?
Yes, it literally said,
Why?
like something.
The Warrens have
yeah.
nothing to do with it.
Exactly.
Okay.
But it's like, oh, how can you say? Okay, so if it's based off of a true story, how can that be a cinematic universe? Because you're basing it off the real universe. Therefore,
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know. Yeah.
that's just stupid.
I don't know, dude.
You should do La Llorona.
Yeah, you should.
I mean, that was literally what was next, and then she passed away, and I was like, let's do the Warrens. Let's talk about the Warrens.
We gotta see La Llorona though.
Yeah.
We gotta see the
should
movie
it,
and then
you talk about it.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? The week that we were going to record that we didn't because of the bad news and everything, there was me and Robert we were assisting with UIL plays, and one of the plays was about La Llorona. Yeah.
What?
Weird.
Yeah, and I was like, I was just about to record that.
That's creepy.
Yeah. And the kid that was in the costume was pretty freaking looking.
That's interesting. I'd like to see that.
Cool. Well, thanks for that.
Yep.
Yeah, it was good.
All right. Well, we already talked about Instagram, yeah, and Facebook.
We talked about the kid passing out.
That poor kid. I'm sorry. I'm not laughing at him. I feel really bad. Thanks for joining us, you guys.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Can I just say, we were watching just like as we ate dinner before we recorded. Chris put on the Ghoul Boys, BuzzFeed Unsolved, and like, I mean, it was like fine. You know, it's Winchester Mansion. You know, spooky stuff around it, whatever. But like, I wasn't really freaked out, and so I was just considering like stuff like this. It's like, I'm not interested. Like, it's not scaring me. It's not touching base with me because it's all like, I don't know. But I was like, I don't know about this. This is not very scary. I don't. Maybe I'm a little bit more skeptical than I was, or than I thought I was. And then I remembered that one video of those two little girls that saw something.
Oh yeah,
in
that was creepy.
Laundry room and started screaming, and their mom couldn't see it.
Yeah,
that's a legitimate YouTube video. It's real. It's not fake. It is 100% real.
Yeah,
that chills me.
That was
so
really
like,
good.
I think there's just like a major difference between those two things, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. I'm getting chills.
I don't know. I know, dude. That freaking YouTube video is so scary.
Anyway,
it's haunted.
That's all.
Nice.
Well, thanks for joining us, you guys. We will talk about. I'm gonna fix up the stuff. Don't worry about it. Look, if you're not following us, don't follow us yet. Let me fix up the stuff, and then I'll give you the new.
I mean, it should be up by the time that this episode's up.
Yeah, but I have to like change the username.
Stop following me.
Yeah.
Stop it.
No,
I see
don't
you
do that.
looking in through
No,
our
follow
windows.
him. Follow him on ChristyCast on Instagram. He's an amazing artist.
No.
And then commission something from him because he deserves your money. And you want good art, right? So go to my husband for good art because he makes it. Anyway, so yeah, dude, thanks for being patient with us. We're just people. That's it. We love talking about spooky stuff.
You mentioned. You might as well throw it out there because you
got plugs
for the sake of spooky friendships. The first person, as far as I can tell, that is a listener that was not original, like went to high school with his friend, that is now officially following all three of us outside of the now non-existent Instagram.
Ooh.
Monica?
Yeah. That's
my girl.
She just added me on Instagram after realizing I've been following ever since the Uncle Max Mystery Milk art.
Dude, she's an amazing artist. I think she
Yeah,
has
she
like
is.
40,000 followers
It
or
is
something.
so
I
crazy.
gotta check it out. Hold on. Okay, Monica has 45.8 thousand followers.
Mercy sake.
And I feel like I remember her just doing like a 10,000 follower giveaway.
Yeah.
So she is blowing up, dude.
She did a draw this in your style that I kind of.
She does it all the time.
Oh yeah,
It's freaking
that was
awesome.
really cool.
Yeah, she's sick.
But yeah, so add to those numbers GHTBNS.
GHTBNS on Instagram. She is an amazing artist. She's an amazing person. She's an amazing friend. She's very sweet and awesome and super smart and cool. Not to mention, she is an amazing artist. She has a shop open, buy her stuff. Yeah. And, cool.
Cool. Yeah.
Look, subscribe to us on iTunes. We're on iTunes. We're on Spotify. We're on Stitcher. We're on YouTube. Yeah, dude. We, thanks for being patient with us. And we're here to put out good content. But really, what we're here to do is talk about spooky stuff with you.
Yeah.
If it freaks me out and that entertains you, well,
you have no idea how much this man is a giant baby. You have literally no idea. We're probably gonna watch like a King of the Hill episode after this. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Sure.
Once we turn the air on because Christopher is melting. No, I'm fine. Anyway, yeah, dudes. Anyway, it's haunted@gmail.com. Email your personal paranormal story, your paranormal story that you heard from your coworker at work. Do you believe in aliens? I don't know. Give me an alien theory. Do you believe in Bigfoot? Saint Squatch, as we refer to him.
Yeah.
Are you interested in purchasing an Uncle Max Mystery Milk sticker?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
be
Email
pretty
us,
fun.
dudes.
So many sticker ideas.
You have no free. I wish I could draw. Anyway, so yeah, dudes, thanks for joining us. And we'll be back next episode with some more spooky stuff.
I think I'm having a heart attack.
Oh no. Too dark. Okay, bye guys.
Bye.
Stay spooky.